The airport lounge was quiet that morning. Outside, planes moved across the runway, but inside, the silence was heavy. A man in uniform sat near the window, holding a folded American flag in his lap. His name was Logan. Strong build, calm eyes, and a face that had seen both war and peace. In his other hand, he held a sealed letter. It was worn from being held too long. Beside him was an empty seat. But to Logan, it wasn't empty. That space belonged to his best friend, Private James Carter, who now lay inside a flag-draped casket in the airport cargo area. They had joined the army together. Same town, same dreams. And in the end, James gave everything in battle while saving Logan's life. Before his final mission, James had only one request: don't let me come home alone. Logan had promised. Now he was here to make sure James reached home, with honor. Just then, a staff member approached. Behind him were two port officials in suits. Their faces were cold, distant. Logan stood up, straightening his uniform. "Mr. Logan Turner?" one of them asked. "Yes," Logan replied, voice steady. "I'm afraid there's been a delay," the man said. "Escort permissions beyond the terminal have been restricted. You won't be able to accompany the casket through the next gate." Logan frowned. "Restricted? I have orders. Here." He handed them a document signed by military command. They barely looked at it. "I'm sorry," the second official said, not sounding sorry at all. "You'll have to wait in the holding area." Logan stared at them. For a long second, he said nothing. The folded flag in his hand felt heavier. His jaw tightened, but he stayed calm. "He didn't die waiting," Logan said softly. "And I won't wait now." One of the officials stepped closer. "We're just doing our job, sir." "And I'm doing mine," Logan replied. "That man in the casket, he died serving this country. His family is waiting, and I gave him my word." Other passengers nearby had started watching. Whispers began. A mother pulled her child closer. An old man looked over his newspaper. One of the port officials tried again. "You can file a complaint with the airline, but you cannot go any further at this time." Logan glanced out the window toward the cargo trucks below. He could see the casket now, slowly being moved toward another gate. He stepped forward. "Sir, don't," the official warned. "You'll trigger security." Logan took one more step. The terminal lights suddenly blinked red. A dull alarm began to sound. Somewhere down the hall, a security team was alerted. But Logan didn't stop. His boots echoed on the floor as he walked straight toward the restricted hallway. Not fast, not loud, just determined. People gasped. A young man pulled out his phone to record. A flight attendant whispered, "What's going on?" "He's escorting a fallen soldier," someone said quietly. "He's breaking protocol," another answered. Logan didn't care. He walked past the signs, past the lines on the floor, past the point where most people stop and turn back. Behind him, a guard shouted, "Sir, stop immediately!" But Logan kept going. His voice, low but clear, drifted back. "You stop when you break a promise. I don't." The scene froze. Even the airport felt like it held its breath. Somewhere, a security cart was speeding toward him. But Logan kept his eyes forward. He walked with the flag still in hand, the letter in his pocket, unopened. It was the final message from James, meant to be read only when he came home. As Logan reached the end of the terminal hallway, he placed one hand over his heart and whispered, "Almost there, brother." And in that moment, something changed. Not the alarms, not the orders, but the people. The mother stood. The old man saluted. Even the flight attendant wiped a tear. They didn't know Logan, but they knew what he was doing, and deep down they knew. This man wasn't breaking rules. He was keeping a promise. Logan stood near the cargo gate, surrounded by flashing lights and confused airport staff. Security guards formed a circle around him, hands near their belts but not moving yet. No one dared to touch him. The fallen soldier's casket rested just a few feet away, guarded not by metal doors or red ropes, but by Logan's promise. One officer stepped forward. "Sir, You can't be here. This is a restricted area. Logan's voice was calm. I'm not here for myself. I'm here for him. He nodded toward the casket. The guards paused. For a moment, no one said a word. Then a female security supervisor walked in. Officer Reyes, she was in her mid-40s, sharp eyes, no-nonsense tone. What's going on? She asked. A young guard answered. He walked into the restricted area, ma'am. Claims he's escorting a soldier's body. Reyes looked at Logan. Is that true? Logan showed his papers again. She took them, actually read them this time. Her expression changed slowly. The name Private James Carter stood out. Reyes looked up. You knew him? Logan nodded. He was my best friend. He saved my life in battle. She looked at the flag in his hand, and then at the casket. Her voice softened, just a little. This isn't the normal way, she said. But I see what this is. Then someone shouted from the hallway. A man in a black suit pushed through. The crowd, clearly someone important. It was Mr. Brenner, the regional airport manager. What the hell is happening here? He barked. Why is this man near the cargo bay? Officer Reyes explained. But Brenner didn't want to hear it. I don't care about his story. He broke protocol. This airport has rules. Logan stood tall. I'm not trying to disrespect your rules. I'm trying to honor a fallen hero. Brenner scoffed. You people think you can break laws with sad stories. The room went silent. You people? Logan repeated, his eyes narrowing slightly. Reyes stepped in. Sir, I think we should handle this with more respect. But Brenner snapped. You think respect flies this airport? No, I do. And I say he's out of here. Escort him out now. Two guards hesitated, unsure what to do. The passengers watching from the terminal glass looked shocked. That's when a small voice broke through. He's a hero. Everyone turned. A young boy about 10 stood with his mother. The boy was holding a toy soldier. His mother tried to hush him, but he stepped forward. He's bringing his friend home. Soldiers don't leave their brothers behind. The boy looked up at Logan. Thank you, sir. Logan knelt, looked the boy in the eyes, and gave him the folded flag. This belongs to all of us, Logan said gently. The mother gasped. I can't accept this. But Logan stood again, voice firm. That man in the casket, he fought for this country. He died protecting his team. And I made him a promise, Brenner's voice cut in, angry. If you don't leave now, I'll have you arrested. But Reyes stepped forward. He's not going anywhere. Brenner's jaw dropped. Excuse me? I said. Reyes repeated louder. He's not going anywhere. And neither is that casket. Not without this man beside it. A ripple of agreement moved through the room. The guards didn't move. Even the airline staff stood still. Brenner looked around, suddenly alone in his command. You'll regret this, he muttered, and walked away. Logan exhaled slowly. His heart was pounding, but his face remained calm. Reyes turned to him. Sir, I'll make a call. You're going with that casket. All the way, Logan nodded. Thank you. Reyes smiled just a little. No, thank you. She looked at the other guards. Get him clearance. Make sure no one stands in his way again. The group began moving toward the next terminal gate. As they walked, more people joined them silently. Passengers, workers, even a janitor paused and saluted. No music played. No ceremony was planned, but somehow it felt like one. Logan walked next to the casket, head held high. And for the first time since James had died, Logan didn't feel like he was walking alone. Logan stood by the gate with the casket beside him. Airport staff moved quietly around him, respecting the space. Officer Reyes had made the call. He was now cleared to fly with Private James Carter's body. But as the plane approached the gate, trouble was not over yet. A flight attendant, a young woman named Kayla, stepped off the boarding ramp. She looked concerned. There's a problem, she whispered to Reyes. Logan overheard and stepped closer. What kind of problem? Kayla hesitated, then said softly, the airline captain refuses to take the casket on board. Logan's heart sank. Reyes frowned. Why not? He says it's not part of the manifest. The paperwork didn't reach him in time. Logan clenched his jaw. Is that the real reason? Kayla looked away, uncomfortable. He said, "This isn't a military flight, that we shouldn't delay takeoff for a personal favor." Reyes's eyes narrowed. Is that what he called it? A personal favor? Kayla nodded slowly. He said military stuff should be handled by military transport, not commercial flights. Logan stepped back and sat down quietly beside the casket. He placed a hand gently on the flag. The memories of battlefields, dusty air, James's final words, they all came rushing back. I promised him, Logan whispered. I promised I wouldn't leave him behind. Reyes made a phone call immediately, this time to the airline headquarters. We're not letting this happen, she told Logan. You're not going through this alone. Minutes passed. Logan looked out at the sky. He thought of James's mother waiting at the other end, of the town that planned a quiet welcome, of the boy in the airport who understood what some adults did not. Then a man stepped off the plane. He was the captain, tall in his 50s with silver hair and tired eyes. He walked up to Logan, ignoring everyone else. You're the escort? Logan stood up. Yes. You a Marine? Former. He was Army. We served together overseas. The captain was quiet for a second. Then he said, I lost a brother in the Gulf War. He came home in a box, too. Nobody flew with him. Nobody waited at the other end. Logan didn't speak. He just looked the man in the eyes. The captain exhaled. I was wrong to say no, he finally said. We'll make room, you and the casket fly with us, and we're not rushing anything. Kayla looked shocked. Captain? But the man turned to his crew. Prep the back row, clear a space. This soldier gets a seat. Logan's chest tightened. He nodded slowly. Thank you, sir. The casket was gently rolled toward the gate. Passengers waiting to board stepped aside. Many placed hands over their hearts. Some bowed their heads. One woman whispered, Thank you for your service. A man saluted. Kayla guided Logan on board and gave him the back row. They placed the flag-draped casket beside him. He sat quietly, one hand resting on top. As the plane taxied down the runway, Logan held the letter James had written, unopened. He hadn't had the courage to read it until now. He slowly unfolded the paper. If you're reading this, it means I didn't make it home. But I'm okay with that, and as long as you do. You always kept me safe, Logan. You were more than a brother. If you bring me home, just promise one thing. Don't cry for me. Stand tall. Be strong. Because I died doing what I believed in. And I died next to someone I trusted with my life. That means everything. Logan wiped his eyes. He folded the letter, placed it back in his chest pocket, and looked out the window. Above the clouds, the world felt quieter, lighter. But this journey wasn't over yet. There was still one more promise to keep. The plane landed in the small hometown of Private James Carter just before sunset. A soft orange light touched the fields outside the airport. Logan sat in the last row, his eyes fixed on the flag-draped casket beside him. The flight had been silent, respectful. Nobody complained. Some even cried quietly. When the captain announced their landing, he added a few simple words. We are honored to carry a hero home today. The airport was small, no crowds, just a few workers, and a military vehicle waiting on the tarmac. Logan stood up as the passengers exited. Many gave him gentle nods. Some placed hands over hearts. Kayla, the flight attendant, stood beside the door and whispered, Thank you for not giving up. Logan replied softly, I made a promise. When the casket was unloaded, Logan stepped down beside it. A young woman ran forward, James's sister, Elena. She burst into tears the moment she saw the flag. Logan opened his arms and she fell into them. You brought him home, she sobbed. You really brought him. I promised I would, Logan said, his voice tight. No matter what. Elena nodded through tears. We weren't sure. We didn't know if anyone would come. Then a sharp voice interrupted. Excuse me, a man shouted. Everyone turned. A county official in a tan suit walked up fast, holding a clipboard. He looked annoyed. Who authorized a military procession? Here, this isn't a government funeral. Logan looked at him, confused. What are you talking about? The man sighed. This is a small airport. You can't just land here with military protocol. There are rules. Elena stepped back, shaking her head. This is my brother. He died in service. Yes, well, the man continued, there are procedures. The casket should have gone through the capital city. This isn't standard. Logan clenched his jaw. You want to talk about standard? He gave his life. And you're worried about a clipboard? The man stepped forward. You need to take the body to the city morgue. That's protocol. People nearby started murmuring. The flight captain, who had stayed to watch, walked forward. Is there a problem? He asked. The official snapped. This has nothing to do with you. Please return to your aircraft. But the captain didn't back down. He pointed at Logan. This man escorted a fallen soldier across the country. That boy died in uniform. You're not stopping anything. The official tried again. This is about rules. A military jeep pulled up. A sergeant stepped out and saluted Logan. We're here to take Private Carter to the family home, he said clearly. With full respect, the official fumbled with his clipboard. But I didn't get a form. The captain glared at him. Maybe it's time you stopped reading papers and started seeing people. The official backed off. The sergeant nodded to Logan and Elena. We've arranged a route. The town's waiting. Logan blinked. The whole town? Yes, sir, the sergeant said. They lined the roads. Elena's lips trembled. He didn't think anyone would care. Logan gently touched the casket. They care now. The casket was placed in the military jeep. Logan and Elena sat beside it, holding hands. As they drove out of the airport, something incredible happened. From the edge of the road, people stood in silence. Men took off their hats. Women held their children close. Kids waved small flags. Some cried. Every few feet, a veteran stood saluting. Farmers, teachers, store owners, all watching, all honoring. The town may have been small, but the love was big. As they reached Main Street, Logan saw something that made his heart stop. A giant banner stretched between two light poles. Welcome home, Private James Carter. Our hero, Elena. Wept. Logan closed his eyes and whispered, You're not alone anymore, brother. The jeep stopped in front of the family house. Logan stepped out, lifted the casket gently with help, and walked it to the porch. Neighbors gathered quietly. The sun was setting. Church bells rang. And in that moment, Logan knew. This wasn't just the end of a journey. It was the beginning of healing. That night, after the long journey, the house was full of quiet. Neighbors had come and gone. The pastor said a prayer. Flowers were placed near the casket. The town gave Private James Carter the respect he had earned, even if it came late. Logan sat in the living room with James's sister, Elena. A small fire burned in the fireplace, casting a soft orange glow. The folded flag sat on the table. Next to it, the sealed envelope James had given Logan before his last mission. I haven't opened it, Logan said, staring at the letter. He told me it was for you, but only if... Elena's voice broke. Only if he didn't come back. Logan nodded slowly. I wish I didn't have to give it to you. With trembling hands, Elena reached for the envelope. She looked at Logan for permission. He gave a small nod. She opened the letter. Her eyes moved across the paper. As she read, tears rolled down her cheeks. Then, in a shaking voice, she read it out loud. Dear Elena, if you're reading this, I didn't make tea, but don't cry. I made peace with this long ago. I just wanted you to know something important. You were always my strength. You believed in me when no one else did. Even when I messed up in school, even when I joined the army. I was scared, Elena. But Logan, he helped me become the man I needed to be. He was more than a friend. He was my brother. So if I couldn't come home, I wanted him to bring me, because I trust him with my life and with my death. Tell Mom I love her. Tell Dad it's okay. I forgave him. And tell Logan, thank you, with love, your little brother James. Elena broke down. She dropped the letter and covered her face. Logan stood up and walked outside, eyes stinging. The cold air hit his. He needed a moment. The small town street was dark and silent. Stars glowed above. Suddenly he heard slow footsteps. A man was walking toward him, old, thin, wearing a veteran's cap. Logan recognized him from earlier. He was the one who saluted the casket near the town square. "You're Logan?" the old man asked. "Yes, sir. I served in Vietnam," the man said. "My boy didn't come back. They sent him in a box with a form letter. No escort, no honor, just silence." "I'm sorry," Logan whispered. The man nodded. "But today, what you did for James, that meant something." He handed Logan a small medal, worn, scratched, but still shining. "What's this?" Logan asked. "My boy's medal," the man said. "He never got a hero's welcome, but you gave one to James, so this belongs to you now." Logan didn't know what to say. His voice cracked. "I don't deserve this." "You do," the man replied. "You kept a promise. That's what heroes do." The man saluted and walked off. Logan stood still for a long moment. Then he clutched the medal tightly and looked up at the stars. "I kept my promise, James," he whispered, "but I still don't know why they tried to stop me." Just then, Logan's phone buzzed. A message. "Unknown number. You shouldn't have pushed through that airport. You made enemies." Logan stared at the screen. Another message popped up. "It's not over." He looked around. No one was there. His soldier's instincts kicked, and something wasn't right. He stepped back inside the house, locking the door behind him. Elena looked up, worried. "What is it?" she asked. Logan showed her the phone. Her eyes widened. "Who would send that?" "I don't know," he said. "But I'm going to find out." The quiet home suddenly felt colder, and Logan realized. Bringing James home was just the beginning. Logan didn't sleep that night. The message on his phone kept replaying in his mind. "You shouldn't have pushed through that airport. You made enemies. It's not over." He sat near the window watching the street. His military instincts told him this wasn't just a threat. It was a warning. By morning, Logan had made a decision. He got into his truck, still dressed in his uniform, and drove back to the city where it all began. To the airport, where James's body had first arrived. He didn't go to the public entrance this time. He went to the security office, straight to the man who had stopped him that day, Officer Green. Logan walked in and asked one question. "Who gave the order to delay James's body?" Green shifted uncomfortably. I was told to stall." I didn't ask questions." "By who?" Logan asked firmly. A pause. Finally, Green mumbled, "Terminal Manager Walters. Said there was sensitive cargo coming through. Military escorts were to be held for security." Logan clenched his fists. That wasn't about security. That was about hiding something. He turned and left without another word. 2 hours later, Logan stood in the airport manager's office. Walters looked nervous when Logan entered. "You again," Walters scoffed. "I thought your duty was done." Logan stepped forward. "Why did you try to stop me from taking James home?" Walters smirked, but his voice trembled slightly. "You broke protocol. That's a federal offense." "No," Logan said calmly. "You broke honor. You disrespected a fallen soldier." Silence. Then Logan placed something on the desk, a voice recorder. It played the sound of Green confessing. "I was told to stall you. I didn't ask questions. Terminal Manager Walters." Walters' face turned pale. "You were hiding something," Logan said, "and now the world's going to hear it." At that moment, 2 uniformed military police officers entered the office behind Logan. "We got your call," one of them said to Logan. "We've been watching this place for weeks. Airport staff stealing military shipments, rerouting cargo." Walters backed away. "Wait, I didn't know it was a soldier's body." "But you knew enough to stop me," Logan cut in. The officers cuffed Walters. "You're under investigation for obstruction, tampering with military property, and interfering with military honors." Logan stepped aside as they took him away. Justice had begun. 2 weeks later, a ceremony was held in James Carter's hometown. Flags waved. Soldiers saluted. The mayor gave a speech. Elena stood with tears in her eyes, holding the medal Logan received from the old veteran. James's story had gone viral. The town now knew how hard Logan had fought to bring him home with dignity, and the best part, the military announced new rules, making sure no fallen soldier would ever be delayed or disrespected again. Logan stood beside the casket, placing a final letter inside. "Dear James, I brought you home. I stood when they told me to sit. I walked when they tried to block the road. You said not to let you come back alone. You didn't. And I'll keep fighting, for you and every soldier who never made it home. Rest now, brother. I've got your back." He saluted one last time. As the sun set over the small town, a gentle breeze moved through the flags. James was home. And Logan? He walked away quietly, his head high, not because he was a hero, but because he kept a promise.